Greetings, 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 greetings. Just gonna bring a little clarity today. Greetings, greetings. Just wanted to, I look at my comments, so I just wanted to bring a little clarity in here today. What's going on? Greetings. I'm not going on Instagram today. I'll post it when I'm done. Greetings. So, I've been seeing some confusion trying to generate inside of the comments. And so, I would like to address some of them and as well as give a little clarity um, to those, give a little clarity for those that may need a little extra understanding of just what is going on. So, I've been here and there, and you've saw bits and pieces here and there, and of course, some of it's been edited, and it's been all over. Seems like an all over the place situation, but there is a chronological order. I promise you. But it has gone in that order because, of course, um, I've been watching and paying attention, and of course, I going to back to the beginning. It was me and Elvin's choice. Whoever didn't like it, whoever has any one thing to say, it really doesn't matter. But my whole reason for bringing this to light is because I have been watching, over the years, and I paid attention to Elvin when he was home, and I kind of knew things from the beginning, which made me question him a lot of times, um, because it was reality for me from the beginning. Okay, so not really understanding their friendship or whatever the situation is, I don't know. But I'll kind of give clarity on the reason why this conversation came up the way that it did. Okay. So, again, I'll go back to in the beginning. No, me and Gangsta has never had any type of dealing sexually or any of that. So, I want to get that thought out of the head because that is always seems to be the brainwash of it all, and that is not that situation here at all. Um, I went back to the beginning of it because, of course, remember, I knew that Stone shot Gangsta. Okay, so from the very beginning, when I knew that Stone had shot Gangsta, or whatever the situation was, and Gangsta, somebody's eyes, which I always felt that Gangsta knew that Stone shot him, okay? But nevertheless, they continue to still be the best of friends, and whatever the situation is. So me not understanding it, I just got silent and kind of looked at everybody like a monster, okay? So let's realize that part first. I'm seeing that, I'm knowing that, but from it all happened, they just told the story. It's just that I have other gifts, and I can tell what a person is telling and the part that they're leaving out. It's a gift that the world has mainly been blocked from. So when I would go there, of course, I tell you I'm an energy person. I'm spiritual. I have gifts, so I can read energy. So when I'm in a person's energy, I'm going to the hospital. I'm pregnant. I am going to see this man. He shot up, but I keep hearing this man say something about the nigga eyes. Somebody's eyes. Somebody's eyes. So of course, I take all of that into my spirit, into my energy. So when I get home, I'm gonna have dreams. I had all kind of dreams when I was pregnant. I mean, I even had a dream while I was pregnant that when I had my son, he was a grown man and he looked like a grown man and talked like a grown man, but he couldn't walk. So me and my mama was, I was when I got ready to bring him home, because I hadn't had this baby, but this baby was a grown man. And he was on one shoulder. I was on, under one of his arms, and my mama under one of his arms, and under the other arm, and we walking him out the hospital. So, I would have dreams when I was pregnant. So once I'm in Gangsta's energy and I'm going to this hospital to see him almost every day with my friend girls at the time, because one is dating him, I'm in his energy. So when he's saying something about the nigga eyes, something about the nigga eyes, I go to having dreams, and then I already know, well, if somebody's saying somebody's eyes, something about somebody's eyes, you know those eyes. You know something, okay? Whether you're saying what you know or not. I mean, you can, that's why I tell people, and I often had to learn to exercise this daily in my own life, that if I see something and I know this is what I see, not to mistake it to be anything else. Just take it at face value and take it at first sight and take it gut and take it as instinct. Okay, like somebody's asked somebody. So now I'm dreaming. So now I didn't have the dream. Okay, so now I'm going to Stone with it. So now it's between me and Stone. I'm not understanding. I'm feeling like Gangsta know from the beginning when he said something about the nigga eyes. Okay, so when I have my dream, I go to Stone with it. And so I'm confronting him with it because I'm feeling like, okay, yeah, it's my dream and I've been in gangster energy and I'm feeling it and all of this and all that, but I'm going with what I prophetically see. I'm going with the spiritual in me. So now he just a monster to me because I'm like, oh Lord, now you're doing it. I'm watching him taking care of the boy. I'm watching. I'm like, oh Lord, I got to get away from all these people. Okay, and then he goes to jail 3 days before I have my baby. So mind you, this has to be like I'm pregnant. In January, I had my baby October. So in between that time, okay. So just look 9.5 months, and Gangster was shot in between that time. Okay, so in between time, it wasn't a thing about me and Stone, him not claiming my baby at the time or whatever, whatever. That's why I had to cut up because of course everybody knew that he had a baby on the way for me. He had a baby on the way for the other lady. They all knew they were friends, and this is the kind of things that they did. I guess this is what they call their code. Okay. So moving forward with me knowing this in mind, now all I'm thinking about is I gotta protect my baby from him and them and everybody. So I go into my own little shell and I break off communication eventually with everyone. And then Elvin goes to jail 3 days. Well, up until then, I was still talking to everyone, but within the time after he come home from jail and I see him still hanging together, that's when I start pulling away. After he came home from jail, because while he was in jail, all the mess was coming out, and this one was telling this one, and some like what I'm doing now, and I'm gonna get to my point, okay? Because it's far from clout. It's far from clout. It's honey, you have to be careful about clout. Clout is something I never wanted. Like I made it known that I wanted the world to forget I ever had a baby for him at one time because of the dangers of even saying his name. Okay, so going forward after he comes home, when he gets ready to come home from jail, because all his business gets out while he's in jail, so now he writing me in jail and we getting along while he in jail, and some like a story you've probably heard before, because these are the same kind of people that carries the same type of energies, that were once all together. So I mean, hey, wouldn't be too different from the other. Okay, so but moving forward, even when I had to battle him and deal with him, I dealt with him. Okay, but still moving forward, I'm looking at the bigger picture. So I did not, once I did state that once I came, because I did go away for a minute. Like, Gangsta was gone, I was gone, Elvin was home. Okay, and then when I came home, Elvin was doing this cash money thing, and I made that clear. Like, I didn't understand, and I made it clear in the Rare Reports video that I did that I had an issue with Elvin riding the bus and signing to cash money. And the issue that I had with that was the reality that I knew that he had shot Gangsta. And that Gangsta was still, I had learned, that Gangsta was still Baby and Slim brother. So how could you think you can just do somebody's people something and then go work with the people and think these people don't notice about you and y'all just gonna really do this? So that was my impression of the whole situation. Like, clout? No, I never wanted to be on the scene, honey. I was on the scene from the beginning and I saw it with my own three eyes. Okay, so that is what has me perfected today about not messing with people that mess with people that I don't mess with. I've learned just leave them all together, and if I have to go by myself, I'm safer by myself than to play with those type of situations. So that is the issue that I had with Elvin really riding the bus, because now you've done all of this from the beginning. So it's seeming that I'm not forgetting what you do because now I have a child for you. So I've been trained early that, oh no, this is who they is, and you can't do this, and you can't do this, and you might not want to see this because this can happen and that can happen and woo woo woo. So I am just following the rules and what I sense to be correct from what I saw, because I saw them play dangerous games within each other. Okay, that's first. So I come home because I'm really not paying attention to Uptown. I'm trying to really get all of this out of my head. But mind you, my spirit is now attached to him because I have a child for him. So there is no getting it out of my head. I have to make a diary of it because at any given time, something can possibly happen to my child, is what I have always understood from the very beginning. And my child being innocent in the situation is, he didn't choose his daddy, I did. So for whatever reason, the universe allowed us to link up and me have the only son, because he has his three daughters, but it's only known he has two, per paperwork. I mean, I did what I needed to do as a mother. And then my loyalty was no longer to Stone nor Gangsta. My loyalty was to my son, who did not ask to come into this, who was the only innocent person in the entire situation. See, I understood clearly that his oldest daughter's mother was from the clique and from the area, but I was not. I was different. So, my loyalty no longer stood with any of those people. My loyalty stood with my child. And that is whom I decided to protect no matter what the situation may be, no matter who the situation may be with. My loyalty is to my son. That is whom I born into this. And no, I did not let him deal with it. Because me as a mother, I wouldn't push those pressures on to him when I saw what was happening before I ever even delivered him. So that just needs to be understood for again first. Now seeing it all play out because Alvin gets caught up with the drugs, and I saw it. I saw that when Gangsta went to jail. Gangsta really went to jail for something that he did not do. He was carrying a code for blood brother or whatever, and doing what he thought was the right covering and all of this and losing his life. Okay? But at the same time, I look at it as Gangsta was being preserved because fast forward, he's home now when everyone else is dead and gone. Okay? And so then I had to begin wrapping my head around this situation because now that Alvin is in this different situation and different things are happening and he's talking to me different and reacting to me different. So now I have to go and study because, see, I was past a level of even sleeping with him. Remember, once I went through the betrayal of, oh, you with me, and oh, this my baby until you go to jail. And I mean, until you get ready to come home from jail, and just because you feel like you need a woman, you show me a weakness and another week, you show me a weakness and you bind down. I need this one, so you're gonna play with me, my baby. So now I gotta prove points to you. Like I had to deal with him first. He was never exempt. Now I gotta prove points, and now I'm going crazy because again, my loyalty is not to him. My loyalty is to my child. So now I feel like you didn't already play with your partner. Now you think you're gonna come and play with my child, and that's not possible. So now here, oh, okay, you want it? This is what I got to deal with because I'm watching what the world going on, and I'm watching these people as monsters. Because this one's saying, and he did this, and then that one could possibly know, but he ain't gonna say nothing. And I'm like, oh hell no, what the world going on? Yeah, what in the world I didn't got myself into? Thank you, baby, I appreciate you. What have I gotten myself into, Lord? Lord, I gotta pray much. But my instructions was to always watch and pray. You see, I learned people perish for a lack of knowledge. For real. That's why I'm going to give you some clarity. I'm not going to react how they expect for me to react because people need to know. You understand? So, played with my son. I had to do the blood test and send him in there. And he already knew all of this, but this is, I'm seeing you just like to play games. You're playing all in your partner face, knowing you done shot the boy and all this shit here. Now you're gonna take care of him and do all this shit here. And then now you're gonna play with me with my baby. So I'm like, you already striked out. Ain't no three. Okay, so now that's just where we at. But after we went through all of that, me having another type of understanding, I backed myself out. Because once a person hurt me, I learned to cut it off. Now, I understand because this has happened with my mother, my sister, my brother. I understand very clearly that people are family, okay? But you don't always have to accept what a person is doing to you if you don't like it, no matter who they are. So once Elvin showed me two monsters, you understand what I'm saying? He didn't have to show me a third monster for me to be convinced that he was a monster. I then learned to adapt to this monster. You understand what I'm saying? And become a monster as well. Because see, you can't be nice to monsters. You know you can't meet a monster and then be, "Oh, Mr. Monster, please don't do that. Don't do me that, Mr. Monster. Please, Mr. Monster gonna really show you a monster." So, in order to to overcome something, sometimes you have to adapt and become that very thing. You can't be nothing different. You understand? And I have to deal with this. I have to face, okay, this is a monster and this is my baby daddy. So, oh my God, what choice am I going to make? Again, my loyalty stood to my son because I saw this monster what he did. So I wasn't gonna let him get to mine like that. Lord, oh, you can't whoop him. You can't do this. You can't do that. I had boundaries. You already played with him. Oh no, 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 no. You can't do that. So of course, he respected my mind, but of course he would go back to his friends and it's and because he was on, I got another baby after him. So if I felt like I needed help or whatever, and then I go to, yeah, he was gonna pay, and that's just what it was. So he had to come off the bus sometimes, since he decided to ride the bus, knowing that you done shot this man brother before, but not since you want to bow down and they got power over you because you already know the street game, but now they didn't trick you from being in the streets doing what you was doing to now come and self snitch on yourself on wax. Okay, they didn't trick you. They didn't trick you. Either way it go, jail. That was the only outcome of it. But you was already in the street and you knew how to maneuver in the street, so you let them trick you to become businessman slash artist to come and self snitch on wax. That they eventually still used you and took you out with it and repaid you for everything that you had been done. You understand what I'm saying? And you out of here. Okay? So I'm watching. I watched all of this. Okay? Yeah, you went on the bus and you did this and all that. And you were saying, I knew the stories because he had to explain them to me. Because he had to explain them to the courts half of the time, honey. Because I had him, you're going to pay. And he would come in there and really tell her, whether he was lying or telling the truth. Oh, I only make this much and all this and all of this and all of that. I'm really just a promoter and all this and all this and all that. So, but by him being in that made me go do my homework on all of that. And then after doing my homework, and already having the other little spiritual gifts, ancient, old, and new, the Lord didn't lead me to be no fool. You understand what I'm saying? I went to watching and I said, oh, Lord, I really got to protect something now. I really got to protect something now because now it's really serious, right? So I just went to watching and watching and watching, and then I would see, I would see the stealing going on, because first he go to jail. First he go to jail before I see the stealing going on with the royalties. First he go to jail. First he with him and all that. Damn baby doing my number. They're telling me the stories. Oh, he taking this song and he just messing over me and just telling me because he frustrated. You heard me, and I'm gonna be real with him and talk. Yeah, well, because I'm the one who had the realization always in his face that this is this and this is this. Okay, but mind you, Gangsta is gone, so I don't have no clue or whatever. Okay, so watching all this, then they leave Cash Money, and then they making the D-boy music. Then they made a documentary, and then they on there talking shit about we don't need no deal. We got this, and people with him, like right with him, his sidekick, and all this, and all of that, and all of this, and all of that. And then his brother get into something that they also had signed to do an album once upon a time. See, soon as you sign, you are insurance. Okay, as soon as you sign the deal, you are insurance. You business. Okay, this is the clarity that I want to give. You business. Okay, so I understood all of that. Understood that he was writing the music, and the writers get paid just as much as the performers. Or you understand? I understood all of this. Sure. Okay. We'll get in contact. So I'm watching all of this. Then you end up doing the music with him. Oh, it's him and Leck. They done made album, documentary. Didn't know he told me about the publishing rights. Told me about Killer Stone publishing it. Told me about all ass capping. He would talk to me. He would talk to me. I don't know how nobody. What's up? I don't know how anyone would want to forget that I would be the one that he would call to handle some business. So with that said, I knew all of that. Then his brother supposed to make an album. His brother started get into some trouble. He go to get the brother. I had told him, I said, Elvin, I had a dream. And I would tell him, I said, you know them satellites that they been putting up around here? I said, they got cameras on them. And the cameras can move around and point out like guns. They can move. They be up like this, they right, but they could come down, move, or, surveillance. And he never wanted me to tell him about dreams because every time I would tell him about a dream that I had, something would happen. So he never wanted me to tell him about the dream. I said, you be careful. D, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. So he ain't called me for a couple of days. So then I had another dream. But in this dream, Elvin was in the interrogation room and he wasn't handcuffed or anything. He on a savage braided to the back, white t-shirt, blue jeans, sitting in a chair. But I kind of saw when he was on his way there and while he was riding, once he had went turned himself into the feds, but in this dream, I just saw him riding with the feds. And I saw that he was not handcuffed. And so, in the dream, that just stuck out to me. You understand? So I was like, because you know me, I've been well, if y'all don't know, but I've been one telling my family, oh, the dollar gonna drop. And we gonna need a bunker. And we gonna need this, and it's gonna be an apocalypse and a doomsday and all this. I'm into all of this. So in the dream, I noticed, it stuck out to me. So after I came out of the dream or whatever, it just stuck out to me that his hands was not, he wasn't handcuffed. So I went to praying. I said, well, Lord, I see in this dream. I said, Alvin wasn't handcuffed. In the dream, he wasn't handcuffed. I saw him going to jail, but he wasn't handcuffed. So when I got ready to tell him about the dream, I wanted to tell him, I saw the police had you, but you wasn't handcuffed or whatever. But he ain't want to hear none of it. I don't want to hear that, D. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. So he even dodged me for a few days not to talk to me. And guess what? The next time he was talking to me, he was behind bars. And the first thing he said to me was, D, you remember that dream you had? He said, yeah, they had got me on the Google satellite. They got me on a satellite camera. So I'm like, whoa. So mind you, he in jail for drugs. He got caught with all kind of heroin and all that. Well, really, they had to set up a house in his set up apartment in an apartment complex where he was staying there, and they had been watching him anyway or whatever, and they knew what the move was gonna be because somebody had then already knew the move and hadn't already ratted on them or whatever. So they got what they really got was the broad that he was messing with that stole from the children. So I'm gonna get to that part. Yes, all the dream work. When I tell you they got her, so he had to go turn himself in. So that part that I saw in the dream about him riding with the feds, that wasn't even a part that actually um happened because he didn't get the ride with the feds. He had to actually go turn himself in to where they had her or whatever the situation was. And so when he got there or whatever, that's when they took him in to let her go. Okay. But it still lets me know. I tell everyone all the drugs belongs to the police. I don't care who you are, or who's selling them to you, who is who, what is what. All of the drugs belong to the police. So if you think you're doing something, you must be the police. Okay, you got to be the police. Okay. So, but Alvin ain't never want to hear those things or whatever, whatever. And it was understood. So the next time I talked to him, he was telling me all that. So I had a conversation with him that time. He got his nephew to call me on three week after I had contacted the U.S. Marshals and then twice, and then they eventually gave me the number to his attorney. And I contacted the attorney and gave him the number, so he called me with his little nephew, oldest nephew, on the phone. Then the next conversation we had, of course, was our own conversation. Because, of course, he was able to call me. And so that's when we had that conversation about, they had came to him about some murders. And that he said he wasn't going to go down for nothing he didn't do. But let's back it up. Okay. No, we're going to go forward. So Alvin ended up dying. 3 years he stayed in there. He ended up dying. 3 and 6. That's 3-6 murders. Okay. Whenever we went to jail before my 3 days before my son and all that, that was a 3-6 deal for him to go to jail. Whatever. However it was set up, I don't care who the parties were involved. They all feds and they all snitches. Um. Well, they didn't been federally indicted and they working as snitches. Let me correct that, because there is a difference. So, bam, he died 3 years later. Now the person that he told me, and I read the reason why I read the article is because that was the person he told me that they came to him about. They came to him about murders that he didn't do, but that person did. Okay. So he said he wasn't going down for nothing that he did not do. Big facts, Kiva. He said he wasn't going down for nothing that he did not do. Okay, so when the feds came to him, apparently they had to already know about the murders, but they came to him like he did the murders. So the murders were already told about. Okay, but mind you, he's there for drugs, not it turned into murders. Okay, Rico. So that was the reason why I didn't insinuate. I just put it out there for you. It ain't all over the place. It's, hey, look, read, realize, stop judging, and just look at what's in front of you. Okay, I read the whole article word for word. I read what the federal prosecutors said themselves. It was the community. It was the community. The community. Okay, they don't want to hear the truth, baby, but they want to shun me, and all that they're going to do is get the truth even more clarified for me. Because see, that's the problem. The the lie got all the way around the world before the truth could even get a start. But people want to judge. Don't be so quick to judge. I can make it very clear for you, baby. It's no part to be. It's nothing to be upset about. It's really my life. The only reason why I'm speaking on it is because they keep playing in my face, and it's not going to happen. You see, and I'm going to get to that. Okay, so now I'm looking Elvin dies after this. 2013, January something, 2013. So now I'm looking, I'm like, Lord, they done sent the hit in the jailhouse. And even if the boy, whatever he died of, because first they was quiet about it, but all I know, his mama kept saying, the nurse said she gave him something to put him to sleep. So I told her to go back there and get something to wake him up. This is what the mama telling me. I'm like, they gave him something to go to sleep. I said, yeah. I said, because they knew no matter what, he was still a good fighter. You know, he was very good with his hands. So whatever was going on, they knew whatever the hit was. Whatever, maybe they, I don't know if they might have did him an easy E. Whereas on his death certificate that they put, he was an artist and that he died with HIV slash PCP pneumonia, which I have right here that states this. I mean, I ain't gonna, because people try to make things be so tragic, but this is my life. Because, they said I had it and try to make the people think all things about me. And I got to get to me, too. Because my people know I'm a little royal. They've been stealing, too, and they've been working and making all kind of deals, too. And, probably was working with him. And I'm finding all of it out. But I'm going to break it down for y'all and give this clarity right now. I'm not going to go all over the place like people tend to try to make me seem to do. But anyway, his this is what this says on here: HIV with PCP pneumonia, cardiomegaly, amegaly, cardiomegaly, with biventricular, biventricular dilation. That's what this death certificate says. Okay. So, and he died January 29th, 2013 at 3:57 a.m. like a gun. Like a gun, baby. Let me look at your chat. I'm sorry, I missed it. They gave him a shot. Suge said it in the joke. Yeah, but it's the truth. I believe they do. Yep. Yeah, they try to get me off my course, but I'm there, baby. I appreciate you. So, bam, he end up dead after he tell, a little while, not long ago after he tell me this. He go to court. I mean, he get his time. He told me he had like 11 years or something like that. But after that, he just was so down and like, he went to saying like he knew he was gonna die and like I'm glad he went to talking like, he knew he was gonna die. He was like, I'm glad everybody able, everybody was able to start getting on their own feet and doing everything for themselves. Right before I came, he was like, D, I'm proud of you. Woo, woo, woo. And I even got caught still. Well, he would be so proud of me or whatever. And I just felt, that's what my dream was. That's why, because I went to pray and I was like, Lord, Elvin is in jail. And Lord, time's about to change. And Lord, this gonna be happening in the world, and this gonna be happening in the world, because I've been seeing so much spiritually, but I'm staying on course. And I'm like, Lord, what's gonna happen to Elvin? What's gonna happen to Elvin? I wonder what's gonna happen to Elvin. But when he went to talking like that, it kind of brought me back to my dream, whereas I see him riding in the dream with the feds, but he's not handcuffed. So that let me know right then and there that he was not going to be here, like, because he was still free. He was going to be freed in jail from this life or whatever the situation is. So end up dying no matter what it was, a hit or whatever. I saw it spiritually first. Okay, fast forward. So after he dies, of course, and y'all have heard me say, when it's soon as the person died, don't let nobody fool y'all. We'll get a family time. Family don't need time for nothing. Family making moves fast, fast, fast with the funeral home, insurance companies, and everybody. So anybody who trying to keep you out of that business, baby, they trying to hide some serious stuff from you, and you need to be on it like a hornet, okay? But being that my son was already like 18, it's like he really had to sign for himself, and but he did not have the understanding because I had been his protector. You understand what I'm saying? So he didn't understand, and so people trying to make me seem like the bad guy, like, oh, I'm just looking for something for Elvin, but that wasn't the point. I knew it all hadn't happened chronological order whether they knew or whatever they felt about it or not, because all I saw was like betrayal. Everybody really wanted to be in his spot. Everybody really wanted to, like, whatever he had, they now wanted to be in his position. So now they didn't care, so much about his children. They to me, they wanted the children to suffer and the baby mamas to suffer and everything. And that's how they continue to play it out. But remember, Alvin had already been in jail before he died. 3 years. So I had been learned to get on my own feet, stand on my own, handle my own business. I was working from home. I was homeschooling my children and all of that way back then. Before then, I had been homeschooling my son since he was in the 6th grade, because I always felt like apocalypse or something was gonna happen, and I always saw through different eyes. So I would see things happening before they happen. So I just would be like, well, Lord, let me just go ahead on with this move right here first. So if such and such happened, you know what I'm saying? Like all these pandemics happening now. I saw this happening then. So I'm like, well, Lord, if the pandemic do go on, at least my children will be at home with me already, whatever, and they won't get stuck at school or whatever. So that was already my mindset. Okay. So after he died, they tricked my son out of checking for his stuff, whatever, whatever. But everybody going with their moves. The sister didn't hit him out all the insurance. The so-called girlfriend then hit him out his jewelry. And now when it came down, I didn't find out then, but upon, it's been 9 years this year that Elvin has been dead. Elvin was a writer. Okay, so Elvin had royalties money. He was already getting royalty money before he died. That's why he never needed nobody to do nothing for him. He was able to still take care of himself in jail, because even when they tried to say that he had bought his jewelry and all of that from drug money, he had the feds had gave him that jewelry back because he was able to prove that he got it from the industry money. Okay, so he had $250,000 worth of jewelry. Okay, so with that being said, he, they hitting out everything. Everybody's stealing everything or whatever, whatever. Okay, so we never really checked into royalties. I don't know what all he might have known from royalties or whatever the situation might have been. I don't know. Okay, because my son didn't want to check. They hadn't, forced him to go along, and my son was just like in a mind, Mama, just let him have it. Let him have it. And I'm like, because you growing up, you need to take it. But nevertheless, I gotta go with his decision. So he letting them have it. So I'm like, okay, so I let it go. I'm like, look, yeah, let the people keep the stuff. I'm helping him. I'm taking care of him or whatever. Me and my family at the time, they was helping him out. Everybody looking out or whatever the situation is. So I'm carrying him, but they still pulling him over there whenever they feel like it or whatever, pulling on his energy. And I knew they was doing black magic and all kind of stuff to him to try to make him go against me and all this stuff, because that's all they had to do was trick him away from me so they could get him, so they could try to sacrifice him or whatever. So, introducing him, all kind of things they gonna doing. So long story short, we're gonna fast forward. So all of these years, we have been living our life. First, him and his sister used to talk. Um, One time it was the daddy birthday, and they had took a picture in the graveyard. And the way that they took the picture, it had already came to me that she would sacrifice my son, because his oldest daughter and my son are the same age, but they're only 2 months apart. Okay, so I've watched her do little slick things in between time, like practice forging, her little sister mama name. And, I know she's very cunning, and she's been around some real cunning trainers. You know what I'm saying? That's her up, she come up under. So all I know is when a person change with you for no reason, they have an agenda or something that they carrying out. So she just turned on her brother, you know, stopped talking to him for a long time to put distance in between it. But I saw it. So then all of a sudden one day she wanted to post this picture with him, and I was like, no, take that picture down. So me and her had some words or whatever, and then the little niece try to come in behind her and all this. I'm like, take that picture down, because that won't be your sacrificial picture. It's like I catch these stuff because I've been watching from the beginning. So that was a few years ago. So she called herself not talking to him or whatever, whatever. But then she'll call whenever she got ready to come with some thrown off information to him, like, oh, Danielle, such and such sister took a picture with daddy chain on, and she told us that, just stuff, old stuff. And I'm already giving my son the business the whole single time on everybody, but I just didn't never have to tell him about the gangster and the stone situation or none of that. I never went into none of that. I'm just telling him going forward how people moving or whatever. So came up to 2021, bam. So my son now, he out here, we in Atlanta, he out here, whatever, he been on about the music. They was on music one time heavy, then they'll get off the music or whatever, but they been writing and rapping or whatever. So my son, I was moving to California. I was getting ready to go. I had to move to California. I was getting ready to leave, go to California. So I was leaving him set up in a house in Atlanta. So he started asking about the royalties. He's like, Mom, I think I want to check on that stuff, that royalty stuff with my daddy or whatever the situation was. So I'm like, okay. I was like, so he had then filled out the BMI estate paperwork because he had been set up an account for BMI, but when he got ready to set up an account in his name, it was like his name already had an account, like his name was already attached to another account. So I already felt like from the beginning his little sister had the account anyway. Okay, so bam. Nevertheless, he fills out the paperwork for the BMI estate information. Okay, and I'm saying all of this because I'm getting down to the other part with Birdman, okay, and Lack and whoever, okay. Um, my son filled out the BMI estate application, and on this application, you have to put, it's the writer's information, and you would have to put all of the, like he put his little sisters and all of them on it, or whatever the situation is. And so, let me show it to you. The BMI estate questionnaire. Okay. So you have to fill this out in order to, this would be the deceased writer's information, whatever. All of the living parties that's connected to him, and of course he was never married, but the woman ended up being able to do some crooked things because she had people that worked in the court, and I'll get to all of those stories too, but sticking to the point. So my son filled this out, and when he filled it out, he was going to need the death certificate. So I explained that I had my business handled with Elvin, but they would not give, his family wouldn't give death certificates. They wouldn't give no information when the boy first died. So I had to get an attorney to handle a little business or whatever the situation was. So I never had a physical death certificate in my hand. So my son nevertheless sends off for this death certificate. And the filing date was March the 7th. They stamped the death certificate March the 18th at the bottom, 2021. Okay. So they stamped okay, so we get my son sent for the death certificate. Now he gotta put in send this with the application to BMI. BMI gets the paperwork. They immediately send a contract back. Yes. Let me see. I was just watching the video speaking on this part. Then she was live. Yeah. So BMI immediately sent the contract back. The contract that they sent back was an agreement between my son and BMI, and of course his other siblings have a percentage of it because Alvin was 100%, writer or whatever. So on his account, with him being deceased, his account would be split up between his three siblings. I mean, his three children. And so they sent him back. Let me see if I got it here. they sent him back a contract that gave him 33, each of them 33.33% of the royalties from the dad's writer's account. Okay. And when they emailed the contract, they sent out taxpayer identification number and certification information. Okay. So, with that being said, that showed that they were supposed to begin receiving royalties from their dad's music that he had written, and that they would have to pay the taxes on these royalties every year. This was the contract. And it says, date August 2nd, 2021, agreement for Delvin Reese, successor in interest to BMI affiliate Alvin B. Nelson, deceased, under the intestacy laws of Louisiana, with a 33.33% share entitlement. Okay. And then there's a 6-page contract which my son signed, and it gave all the rights to him and his siblings per them returning their information. I don't know who's working with them, but I was fair about it. And I don't that's why I don't understand why his daughter is like, she's saying she reached out to all these people, but you should have reached out to BMI, because BMI reached out to you and you were supposed to do this unless you already have done it. And I'm still, it's still a mystery. Okay. So, got the contract. But mind you, when we get the death certificate, I go, I see the death. I come from California. I see the death certificate sitting on the table. I open up the death certificate. I look at the death certificate. I'm like, what the fuck? Yes, yes, Ladena. We'll have to talk about it. So I'm like, Lord, this boy did what? Wait, what's on this death certificate? So immediately, like, this boy already been dead 8 years at the time, but I'm feeling like the boy just died yesterday at the time. So I go and take a HIV test the next Wednesday, because I tried to go that Monday, but the lady turned me around, so I had to end up going that Wednesday. After I saw his results, this was the instant test right after. Okay, I just went, and as you see, this is the same place, because this is the place that gives out free HIV tests, and they also treat the people with HIV, and they get their medicine and everything all from one place. So it's like no other place that I know of to go to except for this place. And I never get to any other part past the HIV test because it comes out negative. Okay. Again, this is the one I just recently took. Same card. I even have it live. Like, no reason to lie. Um, the lady on there, she don't really know me personally, except for if she remember me coming the year before. But yeah. So anyway, I got and I'm like, Lord, HIV, da da da. So bam. But my son couldn't have thought much about it, because I'm in California. He never called me and told me he the one who opened the death certificate or whatever. So nevertheless, we go forward with the paperwork or whatever. So we send that in, they get that back or whatever. So now the royalties is supposed to come quarterly, but a quarter has already passed. So now I'm looking, I'm like, well, where all the royalties been from all the other quarters or whatever, right? So the lady, like, now they talking like they can't go back or whatever on the royalties or whatever the situation is. And then it got to the point where I guess I started scratching like so much with, because I knew so much. Like I had the catalog music, I had everything. They actually, well, what happened was they sent me to the repertoire because no royalties was coming in or whatever. So I was like, how y'all send paperwork, but the royalties, the money not coming through or whatever, whatever. So something just led me to look at the repertoire because I hadn't already been doing my homework on everything. And so I read that if anyone makes music, that BMI and ASCAP keep it in a repertoire. So when I went to the repertoire and I typed in Elvin's name, or I typed in some of the music's name that he had written, everybody else's name, all the names came up, right? But Elvin name came up on some of the songs, Elvin Nelson, and then some of them had A Nelson and D Boys, because of course that was his company. And then Lack was on the song too, but they had removed the catalog numbers from Alvin's name and from D Boy. So that is something I had then posted on my Instagram page, because the person who knew that they had that done, which had to be a higher up person and someone who knows someone, and that is close with someone at BMI, to have Alvin's name removed from the music. So now that Black is still alive, Alvin he's getting royalties off the music that him and Alvin wrote from or whatever the situation is. But now Alvin's money is not, it's going back into the pot because they didn't remove D Boys and Alvin from the catalog, the catalog number from them. So now this money is being circulated back in, and it's being distributed to, apparently it have to be distributed directly to Cash Money. Okay, so now I'm like, wait a minute, this got to make some sense, right? Well, it did make sense because my son, eventually the quarter started rolling around after I had to get Elvin's name put back. Like I had to go, they had actually tried to erase the internet of a lot of information after the fact, but you can't erase everything. So I had actually found a catalog of the music with the numbers and everything, more than what I actually had known, and it had D Boy's information and all of that there. And I had to go deal with the higher ups and the attorneys and all of this at BMI to get Alvin's name, the catalog numbers put back next to Elvin's name. But BMI is still being so, I know that they're covering something, and they're covering a bigger fish, which is the Cash Money click, because they did this. And so it's gone, it's a trail. They can tell what this money is. So I want to know what, all the royalties is at or whatever, right? So they went to talking like they can't go back on the royalties and all this and all that and get the royalty money. So I'm like, why? So they was trying to be secretive about it, but of course I'm spiritual, so the Lord don't lead me to be no fool. Why eventually my son started receiving deposits from BMI, but it was only interest, because mind you, deposit was interest on Elvin's, on the music. It was only interest on the dollars that was received from the music, because mind you, my son and his siblings have 33.33% apiece. So that's already, the payment is already split three ways in between them. Okay. But the question was, why are they just receiving interest on this, right? Well, I had to go and do some homework. And upon doing my homework, I learned that Cash Money had taken out a loan for $12 million, and that all of the music catalogs and a lot of other items that they own, like a few homes and all of this stuff, was put up for collateral for this loan. And Cash Money defaulted on the $12 million loan. So all of, and being that the music used as collateral, all of the original royalty money goes to the loan, the on the defaulted loan. And so that is why only pennies on the dollar are being received. One moment. Greetings. Hello. Yes. Girl, Sherry, I'm so upset about those tires. Y'all, did you say that the warranty covers, Mavis covers the warranty? You can go anywhere. You know what? I don't even want to talk about it at this point because the tires are replaced, the money is spent, and I would rather leave it where it is at this point. Thank you. So, anyway, the interest, the pennies on the dollar are already being split up three ways. Well, not the girls may not be receiving it because I don't know how, again, how they've been brainwashed to move, but my son was just receiving a few cents on the dollars because of the original royalty money going to this $12 million loan. So that's when it goes back to, whereas everyone was saying that, when Cash Money owed Wayne the money and owed this one the money and owed Nicki the money and owed Drake the money and owed this the money, because he used all of their catalogs. Okay, he used all of their music as collateral. So moving forward with the publishing rights, I believe, and I'm not going to speculate, but it's still ongoing. I'm still, because distractions come in, because what stirred it up was my son getting shot. In May, after we sent off and was finding stuff out, he ended up getting shot in May, which I know what that is, and I'm not gonna go through that again. I'm gonna let my son have a chance to come step up, and I'm gonna give him that respect because he says he's going to speak about it. But his timing is his timing, and everything else is on me because I was the only one there for him when he got shot. So I saw it, I saw it. And when he got shot, it reminded me of the way Gangsta got shot. Not me not knowing that Gangsta is on his way home, but it's all in my spirit because not only the way that my son got shot reminded me of him, but then whatever was going on behind the scenes and with me watching the portrayal from the beginning and knowing so much throughout the years and it already being so surreal to me, the real things, I started speaking on it. And I actually just screenshotted some messages because I had been writing some stuff on Facebook. They had me at Facebook jail, but I had to say if Gangsta come home and da 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 da. And this was last year probably around this very time. Me not knowing nothing about this man gonna come home, right? So I'm just willing and dealing, but now other distractions then came in because they keep sending like throwing fiery darts, trying to throw you off. They be working black magic. They be doing all kinds of shit. Trying to distract you and throw you off and all kind of stuff. I've been on studies. That's right. That's right. That's right. So moving forward, I'm now I'm on deployment or whatever the situation is. So I'm working. I'm really not on the internet. I'm really not, so much paying attention to the media because I'm focused on something, right? So a few months ago, it was all now my year's already been in my spirit. Oh, if he come home, this, that, and the other, this is what's happening. Because I said if he come home, he got to been told on somebody, and then somebody got to been happening. And I'm like, well, if so somebody already told on something, right? by the time I pay attention, I think I might have paid attention probably about right at 2 months ago, or right when you right before, not long before I made my first interview or whatever, because of the simple fact that when I saw him on the internet, I reached out to him and I said something to him. I said, Stone be mine. He was like, one. So I sent him my number. So we spoke or whatever the situation was, and it was good. So, but I had went to started immediately talking to him about what had happened about my son being shot and how it reminded me of him when he got shot. But I didn't go into directly into details. So later on, I'm watching about a few weeks later. I'm watching Vlad. I'm watching him on Vlad. So he's telling his stories on Vlad, and it got to the part. Now I already didn't went back through the videos when he first came home now, and I see that they saying he home and they saying he snitched and all this and all of that, right? So I'm like, okay. So now it's lining up with everything that I didn't already seen. So I'm like, okay, yeah, he all right. But then I see him, see him on Vlad, he's telling his stories, and then he being so open. So I already know if you didn't snitch, you already, this is why they came to Stone about whatever, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? And Stone said he wasn't going to do it, but mind you, just like he didn't know at the time that I knew that Stone shot him, he did not know none of this. So I'm like, okay, so I'm just talking or whatever. So I'm telling him about the shooting and all that with my son, though, and how I feel like that's his people and all of this. So of course, I already know, how that is. That's blood, but I'm coming to the blood because I'm letting you know what's all happening. So I'm watching Vlad. I see him now. He being open about shit. So now he telling the story about how he hit Elvin's stash house and Elvin burnt up the truck. So I hit him up and I'm like, oh, it was greetings. I'm like, well, why you didn't tell everything that Elvin did to you? So he didn't answer. And so, you know, that's when I knew it was time to do my video, because ever since I had seen the video that his daughter had did, I already knew I had to do a video, because my son is not, I didn't teach him to be a woman, so he's not gonna get on there and be running his mouth like no woman, acting like no woman, or doing none of that stuff. He'll be quiet about it. But then I am a woman, you understand, and I'm in tune, very in tune with my masculine and my feminine. So with that being said, I'm the voice for my son. Right, that you love him with him, right? Hold on one second. Let me see. Yeah, I became the voice for my son. Let me see. Yeah, I saw that on what? Right, from the live you were with think like this. I'm confused. Right, right. So I became the voice for my son, and I'm speaking on it. So bam, so I asked Gangsta that, so he, and so I'm like, let me come to the fore. It's time for me to speak on it, because first of all, in his sister's videos, if you notice, she never mentioned that she had a brother. She showed pictures of her and her little sister, but she didn't show anything of my son. So I deemed that, again, you counting him out, you leaving people in a blind for him, so you can just off him, and it just being silenced, and nobody never really even knew nothing about him. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh no, I see how this coming. Let me go do my own video. So that's when I made it known in the video that I knew that Alvin had shot Gangsta. Okay. And the reason why I made that known is because I'm seeing everything play out in front of my face that happened in the chronological order, on down to everything, with him even being out. And with, it's like, to me, when I read Telly's uh when I read the article about Telly Hankton, it looked like to me the first person that might have had the ups on that was the person who's home now, and he switched places with this person. But who does it all benefit? Who does it all go back to? He's the one who's sacrificing all of them. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, I know that he's stealing. He stole from Elvin. I got the paperwork. I'm the one who has had to fix it, and I'm the one who's still having to deal with it, because the money is going to somewhere that he got a loan for. So in reality, he owes this. But what is the best thing to do when you still have this contract with BMI? Because see, he gets street credit. He gets street credit whether you're dead or in jail. He gets street credit, or he get royalty credit. Okay, so when a snitch tell they when a snitch work and they getting street credit, and when somebody in the industry working they getting both royalty and street credit. Okay, so with my son being gone, that they can automatically. I mean, they already been stealing it anyway. My point is, why want to sacrifice my son? The answer is they all feared Elvin. They all were backstabbers, crisscrossers, cutthroat, committee, all of the above. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm the woman that watched all of these men be capable of this activity amongst each other. I mean, what do you expect? Again, my loyalty isn't to Alvin or Gangsta at this point. My loyalty is to my son, and I would like for him to be taken off of the list. I have watched. I am overly tired of watching people channeling his energy when he has a son. I channel his energy for his son, to watch over his son, and he's still being pulled in so many different directions even after death. Why? Because he's a legend to other people except for his own children. And that's because they are stealing. That is because they don't care who they take out. So that is why I confronted the situation, because I already know how everybody felt. So there is no reason to come and pretend in my face, because I'm not pretending in anyone else's face. It's just time for the truth to be made known. And a closed mouth don't get respected. They don't respect it till it seem like you're snitching. Snitching to who? I'm not snitching to anybody. I just watch the play, and I'm just giving the read on their play. And it's very clear. I don't know, the masses may be blind to it, but I'm not. This is happening with me. This is me and my child's and my children's life. Because see, they'll get either one. You understand? I don't trust none of it. I tell anybody, if you've ever wanted to be affiliated with the rap game, baby, you are just a pawn. Nobody but the label is killing you. Nobody. They sacrifice your ass and party behind you and act like they love you years and years on, all to steal your stuff. Point blank, period. And that's the clarity of it. So, no, I'm not crazy. No, I'm not clout chasing. I am protecting my son. I have a voice, and I am speaking out because I was quiet for too long. And see, God know how to work on me. See, it's a personal relationship. And see, all of these years I have been in spiritual school. Okay? So there's been times when God wanted me to speak and I ain't speaking time enough. Or maybe I was too late. Or maybe if I would have said something, I might have been too early. But see, he know how to make sure I'm right on time. Because he said, watch, and he said, pray. So guess what? All the other books in the Bible that y'all been blinded and been taken out and y'all been kept from, I am it. This is the Merkaba. Okay? Not the Kabbalah, the Merkaba. Okay? So with that being said, I have it. I have the parts that they show, the parts that they don't show. And it's all together. I have the paperwork to prove it. So I need to be made clear on where would it be clout chasing. This is the truth. This is what really happens to a lot of people that people just don't ever know, because see, it's been kept and deemed a mystery. You know what I'm saying? But Jay-Z tell you, you're gonna crack the code. Some people just can't crack the code. One day you're screaming you love me loud, the next day you're so cold. One day you're here, then you're there. Yeah, y'all need to understand what y'all doing. I know what I'm doing here. So you wanted clarity, you needed to understand it straight out. You needed me to put it in chronological order. up until this point, this is what I'm letting you know is happening. And then what I'm letting them know is take my son off your list, because either way it go, you will be held responsible. Because if this is what the game is, I pray no one gets involved. If this is what the this is what it is, I don't want to be involved. Salute, baby. I appreciate you. Let me tell you something. You have to know yourself. It pays to be an individual sometimes. You cannot just go along. That's why everybody say believe little of what you see and none of what you hear. You understand? Because see, you've been trained to be brainwashed. And all I'm here to do is to share this truth with you, baby. Because this is real life. I would have no reason to lie. If you notice, they try to make me seem like I'm crazy, but ain't nobody call me no lie. And as far as in the comment about Gangsta saying something about my baby being his baby, that has never been a question, a thought, none of that. So we ain't gonna start right now in 2022 because you're way late. My son is 27. He ain't two. He ain't seven. He's 27 going on 28. Okay, so it's kind of a little late to be trying to make that be a suspicion or something. We're not going to do none of that. Because, see, I know how you work, whoever that is behind the name. I can pretty much, always call them out and see the little vices that be working, but we're not going to do none of that here, because see, this is a moment of clarity, and it's an educational moment, because I don't want to see nobody go through what I go through with this foolishness. You understand what I'm saying? And it needs to be exposed and uprooted. They have people who's going to play fair. Okay, all of those people just need to go where they need to go. Okay, monkeypox then came to put everybody back in their box so that everybody will be home when they come for all of those loans. Don't. You ain't gotta give nobody. Everybody gonna go where they need to be. You don't need to do none of that, and you don't need to think you're gonna fool me. I don't. I can't care what you do with other people, because that is their free will. You understand what I'm saying? But me, I'm gonna be straightforward, because it don't pay to play. See, plan, and pan and plan and pan and plan just get you dead. And then I see the plea. I could read the plea. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, baby. Yes. Yes. It's called growth. You understand? Because see, some people just get old, but they don't grow. They don't grow. They get old, but they don't mature. They don't mature. And this is a mature conversation, baby. This is maturity right here. You understand? This is called wisdom and knowledge. You can't buy it with all the money in the world. It's best that we all be trying to get somewhere and get us a personal relationship so we can find out what our purpose is. Because see, right here, right now, this is my purpose, to share. I've given all the people all of the stuff. If I wanted clout, or if I wanted the money, this money is in my son's name. This is law. This is law, baby. This is law. Okay. This is Akashic records. Okay. This is an Akashic record. This has been there. Been. Okay. So I didn't try and, make it a big thing. But when it comes down to harming my son, I'm sorry, I cannot be fooled. I cannot pretend to see something for what it is. And I can't, well, let me rephrase that. I can't see something for what it is and then pretend that it's something else. I'm just not one of those people. I'm just not one of those people. It's so crazy because I can hear it in the news. I can just hear the news say something or read something, and they be like, "Oh, the the dog sitter or the assistant or whoever, oh, they was murdered, and I'd be like, nah, Lord, you know that's a shame. They got them people for that insurance money, Lord. Lord, you know that's not right. You know that's not right, Lord. You know someone who uses black magic is just. Let me see something because it's got to be a clown. Glenn, Ladana, B. You know someone who uses black magic? It must be in the entertainment industry because I have seen. I never seen nobody using it. Baby, where you from, Glenn? Where you from, baby? Where you from, Glenn? They don't just use it in the industry. They might, you didn't see it somewhere, baby. They use it right in front of your face. And it can be in the house right with you. It can be, I mean, they know how to do it subliminal. If you ain't never seen it, I don't know what to tell you. You from Atlanta? You know what's so crazy, Glenn? I didn't even learn so much about black magic in New Orleans. I'm from New Orleans, and my people never taught me none of that because they wanted to keep it a secret anyway. Anyway, you know it's supposed to be a secret. But let me tell you something, baby. That's where I learned. That's where I learned it from. I learned the people, and they got more people in Atlanta that do black magic than the law allow. They got people from all over do it. It don't just come from a certain place. It's magic. It changes your life. It could be work for good or bad. So just imagine if somebody don't want you to do good for yourself, they're gonna keep it from you. And if they want you to bad, they're gonna do bad. They're gonna work it on you. But they're never gonna want you to know. So they're keeping power over you. And why would somebody not want? Why would somebody want to keep your power? The world does voodoo. I see it all the time. I see rituals being done with states. I see it all of the time. Ooh, baby, they been sacrificed. Baby, honey, we not gonna get into it. I'm not gonna even get into it, y'all. I'm gonna try to stick to the script. We're gonna talk about it on another day because we got so much to talk about, y'all. But I wanted to bring clarity to this situation because I be reading the comments and I be knowing people have little vices and stuff, and nobody's gonna just make me seem like I'm crazy. That's just not acceptable in this at this point. Because oh, you bad, you okay, baby, you okay? Nobody's gonna It's just not acceptable at this point. It seems like every time a person is telling the truth, they try to make it be like it's mental health or something, or like it's a mental problem. But that's not the case here. What happens is me being a person that has tried to self heal from this for so, so, so long, right? And mind you, this is my personal life, and I have a child that is still here, thank God, by the grace of by God's grace and mercy, that they deem to count out. And so after seeing all of the pretending and being able to notice the difference, it's made my entire life different, but for the better. And it's just a personal thing. People just want to come and talk about it and bring it up. If Gangsta, mind you, I was quiet about it so long, but when Gangsta came home, let me tell you something. I realized right away. I said, now they know they owe him money. They know they owe him money. Greetings, greetings, King. Appreciate you. I'm like, so they know they owe him money. So instead of paying him his money, and instead of having to give him the money, they know all he got to do is come home and make it known that that's their brother. And he's going to break the internet anyway and make his money. But then you include other people's lives in it that all the money in the world can't replace. It's priceless. And it's like just playing in a person's face. Like just disrespectfully. Like because you choose to think, or you chose to think that I never knew what was going on. And being that you chose to believe that I didn't, you never showed any concern by even trying to inform me. So that's how I know it was intentional. That's how I know it was intentional. And then I watched it for multiple years. I like instantly after Elvin died, I watched Lack immediately run right back to Cash Money to try and do an album. I watch other artists that in reality really feared him. You can tell the way they speak on a person, the way they felt about him. Um, oh, he was a legend and this and that and Killer, and they want to channel his energy and all this, but real, he got a real life son in the church, which I don't care about him being around my son anyway, because I don't trust none of them. But I'm just letting them know that's how I've been feeling, so they would have never received a notice from me or mine. They just helped me to be more stronger and more resilient and have a little more patience. And now my patience is none. They have exhausted all of the options because I have to continuously look for this. And then the more you say his name, the more I have to look for something. And I am. Because I know what it looked like. So it's very clear. I made it very clear from the beginning what I was saying. I just needed to address, because we're not going to make this a mental issue here. This is not a mental issue. If that's the case, it would have been a massacre. It could have been a massacre for the mental issue. It didn't have to be coming on here confronting a person about admitting one thing but not the other, and it's just you giving shocks, and you giving trauma shocks. You're returning trauma shocks. So how about it's trauma for trauma? Okay, so you giving me trauma by talking about it again, and I'm gonna give you trauma by giving you the truth, because the truth traumatizes. A clown I have never been. I can be a clown because I'm not usually not serious all the time, but it depends on which clown you're talking about, because I'm not to be taken lightly. Clown. Don Hewis. You seem to have a problem here. Speak up while you're being spoken to, so I can see what I need to do with you. Because what we're not going to do is play. I didn't let everybody play long enough. Don Hewis. So you need to differentiate, make it clear what you're trying to see. Because I'm going to make it clear what I'm going to do. I ain't no spam going to be up in here like this. I'm going to only let so much go. Yeah, Don got to go. Because Don got monkeypox. I know. I know. A lie don't care who tell it. Don, go heal yourself, babe, because this is not the place nor the room. Go find you somebody to play with, but not here. You roll your ass if you want. That's what I once was told. But I'm going to get you out of here. Remove, report you, because you won't be spam. Unwanted. There you go, baby. There you go, Zion. That's what you're gonna get. Yes, baby, monkeypox. You know, cause see, that's what's gonna come out next. That's why I'm making it known, cause they wasn't gonna keep telling them lies. So, baby, the monkeypox is gonna tell on all of them. You hear me? Y'all just be careful. Telling you, Don't let them fool ya. Oh no. Not even try to screw ya. Oh yeah. Cause it be love. And you don't want that kind of love, I'm telling you. So the clarity of this is that is why I came to Gangsta, because we're not gonna play like I'm not about to keep on playing like you don't know. And I see repetitive uh I see repetitive actions. I'm seeing things repeat themselves, and I'm seeing swaps and I could see the deal. I could damn near see how the hell it was written. So that is why, and that is why I had to come with the clarity, because eh, I needed to be understood exactly what I'm saying. I'm not beating around the bush. I mean, they know exactly what I'm talking about. They do. They may be shocked that I know after all of this time, and how I've been so humble and so quiet, and how they were able to think of me as being so naive and so gullible and so dumb and so green and so sadly mistaken. Right, dummies, Ladana. Dummies. How could they possibly? I was trying to spare you from this situation, but since they choose to come by force and not choice, you understand? Yes, this is chess, not checkers. And in the game of chess, yes, baby. And in the game of chess, what is it known for the queen to do? The queen. They're not real queens. They portray to be queens. And we're going to get to that too. Because I'm going to tell it all. Because all I saw, I said, Lord. Now, I didn't see women do this to men. Get mad, take his stuff, and all of this and all of that. And he be wanting to kill her. And then they be right back together. But Lord. Men, what is going on? What is going on? How did this? Lied, lied. And then the way they act like they was the woman, or they was the one that had the children, or that they were owed something. And you know why they feel like that? Because it was never genuine. Baby, we got another one here. Let me see something, cause they got some trolls and some minions in here. Keep saying I'm gonna sell it all. Ain't told shit last night, so she need help, lady crazy. Baby, I could tell you sure is here for it though. Whatever, this is me, and if I wanna be suspenseful and run this however I want to run it. This is within me. This truth is within me. Is you paying for it? I didn't think so. So now I'm gonna get you on out of here. Cause see, crazy. We not gonna do none of that. And you shouldn't want to watch nobody crazy. Laugh your ass off on that. Let's see. Reports. Cause I'm watching. I'm not playing the radio. Um, mm-hmm. Out of here, baby. We're not gonna do none of that. Yes, baby. Baby, I know the real gonna believe, but what they not gonna do is come in here and contaminate and infiltrate. We're not doing that. Cause see, I'm shell shocked to that kind of stuff these days now. You know what I'm saying? I done been seeing it and dealing with it for so long. Tell baby, I just don't choose to be with it. Yeah, it probably is. But guess what? We ain't worried about them, what they gonna do. I appreciate you, Tyrone. Yes, LaDana, when I tell you what we gonna do, oh, we not worried about them. But what they're not gonna do is I'm not letting no infiltrators in. See, I'm gonna have a loyal relationship with somebody, even if it's people that I don't know. Cause see, the truth is just the truth. You can't even, it's no in between. It's either truth or a lie. It ain't no in between. You understand what I'm saying? So, yes, baby, it's so been going on, Kiva. And I'm just sharing it because, see, they think it's already been going on for 30, damn near 30 something years of my life. I'm only 45. So just say 29 years. So you think this about to keep repeating? And if I live another 29, I'm gonna go through this again. Whatever they gonna do, they gonna have to do it now. Now, baby, I'm not doing this another 29. Oh no, I waited too late. I waited too late. And I was letting them have it all, but they still wasn't satisfied. So I mean, hey, you get what you asked for. Everybody ain't gonna just take your shit. I ain't built like that. I ain't built like that. There's only so much I can take. So you need to just be real about it. Yes. Thank you, Kiva. Cause they all, yes, that's the problem. All them women tendencies and all of that. That's the problem. That's right. That's right, Michael. That's right. The things that I know, they know. Gangsta ain't call me a liar yet. There's no reason to call me a liar because I'm not lying. No, cash money is far from what they think, sis. All they are is a baby. All they are is a pawn to them people. Do you understand what I'm saying? And a debt, an insurance policy to them people. Them people then killed up everything that then been affiliated with them. Just go down the timeline. Then they go turn in the same people that they get to be doing stuff. I just don't understand. Like who they working for? Like who they working for? I'm so glad that all of this will be dismantled soon. Thank you. They can't sue me. Thank you. If I'm lying, sue me, please. If I'm lying, sue me. I ain't seen nothing yet. I ain't even seen the besides the wacko wine himself. He just post him. He won't be. He's so worried. He been wanting to have been begging so bad. God ain't been doing nothing but spamming. He want him. He may be a good dude, but now he wasn't good in this situation. That's the problem. People be wanting you to think they're good, and then so that's the problem. That's how the masses be flipped. And nothing good about sacrificing people and stealing. It just don't make sense. It just don't make sense. How they working for? How they working for who? They work. They be working for the police because they once been in situations. Oh yes, they see you know, see Dana. So many situations, but he slip and slide of them out of them because he uses the community. He uses the community. So what he does is, okay, he has the cover up as the music. So he knows that all the drugs and all this shit leads to the guy's doggone music. That's right. Everything he's affiliated to but turns federal, and it's him working because he done been in situations himself. It's too wicked, baby. Too wicked. And then look how he did it. They know Louisiana and Atlanta be rivals with football and everything else. So just imagine with that kind of stuff. They don't get it. They take each other out. They got permission. I didn't watch so many plays happen just lately. I be like, Lord, but you can't tell people nothing. You try to help them and they turn on you. So, I just get the truth. So who can reciprocate it? But ain't nobody gonna knock me because, like I said, if I'm lying, like you suggested, if I'm lying, sue me, sue me. And I know I got paperwork, paperwork. They gonna fuck with cash money until they realize the railroad that they got their people in. Yeah, that's what they do. That's what everybody try to do. Oh, come fuck with me, come fuck with me, so they can know all the business, have you all up underneath their wing, and go tell all your business. Who could tell your business but somebody from the inside? People from the outside don't know. They don't know your business. You understand? It's got to be somebody from the inside. Just like I said, they all telling Hank that this man was already doing a fucking life sentence. They come get this man in 2016, 3 years after Stone, give him another long life sentence, and then 6 years later, he'll come Gangsta home. Come on, man. Come on. Then poor BG, no, he not getting out because they got BG for renting the truck for Walter Porter, and then they got all them on the murder. So what they're doing, tying to BG into it, ain't no he coming home. Have to make it make sense. It's all clear, clear as the day. See the sun shining, clear, 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 yo. So that's what the clarity I want to make and address the foolish rumors, the minions and the vices that don't know. Thank you so much, LaDana. I appreciate you, baby. I'm gonna have to, LaDana. We're gonna have to do something because I be wanting to try to stay on track because that's how people try to get you thrown off and over that. But I had to learn I learned that in school too, spiritual school, to got to sum it all up. Cause see, some of the people really, like you really listening. I want you to know the truth. I don't. You could differentiate the truth from a lie. So hey, sure, I would love to. I would more than love to, LaDana. I most certainly will. We will connect. Yes, this is the real conversations that need to be had. I'm so over it. I don't even watch TV because I'm so over it. The truth is always needed, Austin. The truth help you go to bed at night. Because sometimes things that ain't the truth don't leave you puzzled. If it's the truth, you can easily go to bed at night. But when it ain't the truth, oh, trust me, I'm gonna get the dreaming and everything. Ain't gonna be no go to bed. Can't get tired, till you know the truth. Because what you don't know can hurt you. And knowing is half the battle. That once you know something, that's half the battle. And once I knew that and was able to follow chronological order, pull back from all of it. Just pull back from all of it and be loyal to who I brought into this world. I ain't know what I was getting into, Lord knows. If I could turn back the hands of time, I would. But it's safe. So it then got to a time as this, and I'm sharing it. I have to because it's the only true way to do it. I tried to heal silently and tried to go baby. I done been to the ends of the earth. Yes, the truth is good, baby. I done been to the ends of the earth trying to deal with this situation. And guess what God laid on my heart? Tell the truth. Give it to the community. Teach somebody. Help somebody with this. By helping someone, you will be helping yourself. Because they was going to keep playing in my face with it. Every time I hear something, oh, you need to do something with your brother. No, because she will not be sacrificing her brother. She will not be sacrificing her brother. I've made that very, very known. Her and no one else. No. No, it's not acceptable. I know what's going on, even if she doesn't. There people just want to be in. You got to be careful about what you're getting yourself into. Yes, they need to stop idolizing these rappers. These rappers is the reason why people are being taken out. They are all for the wrong things. They promote the wrong things. They do. I fuck with you too. I appreciate you. Yes, I am real. Yes, I appreciate you, big girl. Yes, appreciate you, LaDana. That's just all it is. And I'm a mother. I'm a woman. I'm a mother. I'm a sister. I'm a niece. I'm an aunt. I'm all of that. So I do not judge between anything. I mean, I'm going to get to the conversations to show you that I didn't judge, because I even accepted the sexuality. Like, I accepted, okay, he's doing other sexual things, and I just pull myself from it. Instead of, oh, I could ride it better, I'ma be in this, and I pull myself from it. And that is why God was able to save me. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And all they doing is setting them up. Elvin had did a article, and in the article he said, I'm gonna pull that article up. It's pulled up, but it's on this pad that I'm on, and I don't want to change it around. But in the article, that this interview that he did with this certain person, wherever it was, I'm gonna pull it up and and we're gonna talk about it. He wrote and he said in that article that he had to think about it when it came down to doing the music because it's really self snitching. That is what he said. And if y'all listen, go back and listen to every last one of Elvin's lyrics. Elvin was telling on himself, telling things that he never wanted. I remember when I first met him, he didn't even don't take no pictures with me. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do that because I don't want to be on there. I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to be on camera. Then what did the music industry trick his fucking mind to do? Turn around and be on camera. Be on camera. Be on camera. Not only be on camera, tell what you do. Tell who you is. Woo 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 woo. Rap about it. Rap about it. And it was all a trick. And he on there. Wait, what did he say? Rumor has it that I'm a killer with truth this here today. Head bust is my profession major. Took well, and every day I did my lesson in case the. Boy, you're telling God on Jesus. You done told God on Jesus. Slide. So that's how I know what all you could tell what all they did because all you gotta do is listen to the music. And then the ones that they hypnotize the hell out of him, Glenn. Made him tell God on Jesus on himself. Do you hear me? And not only him, I hear a lot of them. And that's why I know as soon as I be hearing them say certain stuff, I say, now he working. Yeah. And he's working. Yeah. And he working. Yeah. And he's working. Yeah, that's what that song meant. He working and he's working. He working that mouth and twerking that ass to stay out. I'm telling you, boy, they make you do all kinds of things. Y'all just don't understand. And they do all kinds of things for it. Who do they do black magic on them? At one time, I thought they was doing no one but me. It's like I could tell the spells that they was doing. Because I'm talking about mine was gone, hypnotized. I didn't even know him no more. And that's why I was like, boy, you did all that. You coming to go ride the bus with these people and know what these people, know what you done already did to these people. And now you're going to let these people trick you like this. I couldn't believe it. I thought he was smart. I always deemed him to be smarter than that. I never would have thought. So if they call that challenging him, that was because he was no longer even him. I was the one who was realizing. Everybody else went along with it. He was a totally different person. He was not himself. And that's why I put that picture on here at the beginning of this video, because that is when he was himself. That was probably one of the last times he was himself. Whoever, when that music industry got to him and tricked him out his spot to forget all what he knew was better, baby, I knew that was a powerful thing that I ain't want to play with. But all I know I needed to do was master this power. What is it? I had to master this power, baby, because this is strong and everybody's selling out to it. What is it? What is it? And it ain't nothing good. I can see it clearly. I don't care who playing. I just be like, Lord, it paid for me to be by myself, because I say, Lord, that's why I had to learn to be by myself. Because, Lord, I've been around all these other ones, and all they've been doing is taking what I say and go back and either act like it's theirs, or act like they knew it themselves, or act like they did it themselves. I've been the ghost behind a whole bunch of them. Yes, baby, strong energies. I've been the ghost behind a bunch of them, helping them. That's right. Whenever they don't obey, whenever they go against the rules, it's either lock up or jail. If you don't learn from the lockup, if I lock you up and you look like you came and you don't know how to act, you got 3 years to show that you know how to act. If you don't know how to act in 3 years, you'll be dead in 6. Or you'll be set up again in 6. To me, it's just 3s and 6s. 3s and 6s. 3s and 6s. Whenever they feel like it. Whenever they feel like it, baby. Honey, you better believe it. What they do with all of them. What they do with all of them. But I know what they did with this one. because I'm the one who had to put the music back in the repertoire, and that is what's happening. That is the truth, the shocking truth. And I'm not gonna say that everybody's deals go like this. That's why you got to be careful because they do call these 360 deals. So that is selling your soul, I guess, or whatever. But I don't want to believe that everybody. But I mean, as far as this rapping stuff goes, I know for a fact. But I see it all throughout. I can't differentiate or discriminate. Baby, this has been so up close and personal to me. So now it made me see what the family capable of. The pastors and all the ones that, yeah, the ones that still go to the lodge. Pastors sit up there and talk Jesus to us, but guess what? He go to the lodge. Yeah, exactly. And if you want to go to the lodge, that's okay to go to the lodge. Just don't be standing in the pulpit like you don't go to the lodge. That's it. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not here to make anyone choose a side. I'm just here to make sure I stick to the decision. That's all I'm doing. I let people use their own free will. If they feel like they want to pick a side, I'm just going to stick with the decision. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, that's it. That's it. That's top and bottom line. That's it. So ain't nothing wrong with that. But just don't be pretending. You know? Like, I can't pretend I'm nice all the time. No. I'm very nice. I'm either very nasty. It's no in between. It's a balance. It's a balance. It takes a balance. Y'all think I dealt with him and wasn't going to be able to know how to deal with all of them? Oh, baby. When they say birds of a feather flock together, hey, honey, ain't nothing like some homework. I've been teaching older people with the primary things. Okay, so I just had a leave the church going to that. That's right. They leave the church and go to the lodge. Let me tell you, I've been helping my older people that are closer to me with primary things. Okay. Thank you, baby. And the conversation that I had with one of my friends yesterday, I said, I am a principle type of person, okay? Principle is something that doesn't cost any money. Principle is priceless. It can have the smallest meaning, but mean everything. And I said, now the first person that a child learns about besides the teacher, because the teacher is always the main character in school. From a preschool, you go to school and you learn you learn who your teacher is. But then you learn the principal, okay? Yes. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you. Yes. But then you learn the principle. And you learn the principle is important. And no, you may not see her every day. She may not have nothing to say to you all of the time. But she's the most important person in the school. Okay? So, I'm a principal type of person. It's small, but it means everything. And when you become that, that's just, you're going somewhere. Because that's when it's just got to make sense. And it's the principle of things. It's just the principle of him being my son. That's why I'm going to tell it. And the principle of me already letting them have so much and being quiet and they're not satisfied. See, principle. So important. Very important. Means everything. Means everything. Always the principle. As long as you stick to the principle, you ain't going to get out your lane at all. So with me speaking on this, it's the principle. The principle of me watching it from day one. Didn't understand it, but listen to my higher power no matter what, and able to tell it today. It's the principle of me doing what I needed to do. It's the principle. The principle of do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The principle is of if you know, I don't know, don't make me pay for something somebody else did. Principles. And it's the principle that this man wrote all this music. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you. This man wrote all this music, thought he was doing something for his children so they wouldn't have to worry about nothing. And he was deemed a sacrifice. And they used him. And I didn't want to call him a legend because he only benefiting them. You know they did, Indy. You know they did. They say, T, tell it. They think it's a secret. Tell it. You know the secret. It ain't a secret no more. Don't let that be no secret. That's not no good secret. That secret right there don't give you no peace. Don't leave you with no peace. So you know where my peace lies? Within. And that's why I'm bringing it out. I'm talking about it. I'm going to tell it. Because you see, anything was bound to happen. Anything could have happened. That's how I know God got me. And with that thought, I'm not worried about nobody. If they not worried about what they did, I surely am not worried about what I'm doing. And I ain't doing nothing wrong. Hello. I ain't doing nothing wrong. If the truth hurts like that, honey, maybe you should have put himself where he was putting other people. Okay? Don't do it to yourself. It's called a DIY. Do it to yourself. Do it yourself. Do it for yourself. You hear me? And see, this whole time I've been doing shadow work. I've been facing my demons and facing other people's demons and dealing and willing and holding and carrying and whoo. Oh, but the burdens is light now. I'm gonna make sure they like, cause everybody gonna carry their own. If you participated, then I'm just not gonna carry it by myself no more. Me and the participants, it's gonna be evenly spread. Okay? They say charity begins at home and then it spreads abroad. So if they are included, why should I carry it alone? I've been carrying it too long. No, no, no. Truth is too much to bear. And it's not only mine. So let me tell it. Let me share it. Oh, yes, Michael, baby. They did away with, baby. That's why I know it be higher people in higher places. Now they going to do away with my Extraordinary Mystique Instagram page. But now I'm Extraordinary Mystique LLC. And then, of course, I have the page that they're watching, Extraordinary D-Boss. And y'all, if y'all look at those pages, and y'all can go back to my pictures for a very long time, I can show y'all some pictures, baby. Cloud has never been an option. I told y'all I was somewhere being quiet, trying to make people forget that I had to be for the boys so they wouldn't be trying to do what they're doing now. And that's why I know it's them. Because this ain't been happening, girl. They want this 33.3% already getting the money for it. Just let them have the paperwork, okay? But they know this boy needs to be able to take care of his own self. And he's trying to like, you think you're going to get away with this and keep on doing stuff. I was quiet long enough. Let you have it all. Like, wow. People don't be satisfied. This is greed. Greed is a dangerous, that's what's dangerous. That's what's dangerous, greed. You know, because once you didn't have a certain kind of, touched a certain type of money, you can't go beneath it. So that means they're going to be able to go through the, any necessary measures. Baby, you got to be careful. Baby, telling you, girl, that double indemnity on that damn insurance, girl, paying double, girl. Lord, gee whiz, girl. Awful. Then they tried to make it look like my son, like he had a gun. Oh, I could just tell all the police work in it. But I'm gonna have to wait. Y'all, more and more is coming out. Y'all just pay attention. But that is the clarity of this. Since inquiring minds just didn't seem to understand and was trying to make other insinuations and situations. I appreciate you, baby. Yet I'm so glad, LaDana. That is the whole assignment, honey. That someone learns. I am here to teach through my personal life experiences, but my personal life experiences pertain to worldly situations, like big worldly situations. Like, as you hear, people been talking about it for years, and none of the baby mothers have stepped up. Like, who was gonna speak? Who was gonna tell the truth? That just showed me that they was all included from the beginning, and I'm the only one gonna tell the truth because I've been telling the truth. I told the truth to him. I've been telling the truth to them. And now it's best that I tell it to y'all, because if something never happened, then I'm letting y'all know who all is involved. You understand what I'm saying? It's been doing this since time and time and time and time and time and time again. And now it's about to be 30 years, and they think it's about to switch over all over again, and then it's just going to switch positions. No, baby, the same things is not about to happen in just different positions no more. Oh, no, 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 no. Things have changed as we know them. You understand? So they need to realize anything that you say can and will be used against you. You understand? And you can't even make threats these days because it's called terroristic threats. You just can't speak loosely no more and to be doing all kind of stuff. So when people be talking, oh, they gonna do this to you and they gonna do that to you, all you doing is confirming what they do, because it's known that they do it already. But they be saying other people did it. So if the other people already locked up and they done already switched positions, well, who keep working? Oh, okay. Don't let that part go over your head. Come on, you think the people crazy? Think the people crazy? Some of them got permission to let them make a fool of themselves and then come right back and do what? What do they don't get far? Kanye West been told you wouldn't get far. 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 You wouldn't get far. Told him that. Got to make it make sense. So I tell you, I appreciate you all so much just for noticing the truth. It's not about clout. It's not about just bringing it up, because it's really a very sensitive situation. It has been so overly sensitive to me for the longest. Just think, if you can hear now that it's deep, just think of how long I've been carrying it and dealing with it. You understand? That goes to show that I had to have some type of strength and some type of peace that only God can give, and the kind that surpasses all understanding, to still be clothed in my right mind, to be able to tell it to you today, because I'm seeing it so very clearly. And like they say, that very thing that you keep going through, it's put there for you to master. That's put there for you to conquer. Because guess what? If ain't nobody else then perfected it, you have. So you can always help somebody. I tell you, this ain't for the silver spoon over here. And this ain't for the holier than thou. This is for those that go through something that might feel like they're the only one. You're not the only one, baby. You're not the only one. And trust me, you're not crazy either. So I appreciate you all for allowing me to be transparent, for allowing me to share my truth, and to be able to differentiate the truth from a lie for yourselves. Because I'm not here to convince anyone. I'm just here to help someone from going or having to experience these issues in life. So if you ever were to see something like this, or to hear of someone else going through something like this, you can always come back here and say, now, and you have something to relate to. You know, you're not the only one. People do not like to share information. Wisdom and knowledge is free. It can cost money, but then people will not sell that. They rather sell products. You understand what I'm saying? And they want you to just buy something. But what will they give you in return? You know, at this time we need wisdom and knowledge. Food prices is high. We can't eat hair. We can't eat nails. You understand what I'm saying? We can't, you know, it's got to make sense. So, again, I appreciate you all for watching today. I know I've been extra long, but I appreciate, you know, you allowing me to give this clarity. And I would like you to please like and share and subscribe to my channel and to my videos and share this information. This is a voice in the wilderness, but I promise you, I am helping one and helping to teach one. I appreciate you, Michael. I thank you so much. I tell you, I thank you. I appreciate you so much. I thank God every day that I do not look like what I've been through. Thank you, LaDana. I appreciate you all. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and I will be back here more sooner than later to share more information. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and let's just keep sharing our truth. We have to stick together some type of way. I appreciate you. Y'all be safe. Thank you. Bye. Okay, love you more, honey. Bye.